In the vastness of space, we often think of the unknown as the biggest threat, the black void, the uncharted territory, the distant stars. But sometimes, danger can come from the most unexpected places. This is the story of how the Apollo 12 crew nearly met their end before they ever even left Earth. Rocket engine ignites, then thunder in the distance. November 14, 1969. The world watched with bated breath as Apollo 12 launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, its mission clear, to land on the moon and gather scientific data that would change the future of space exploration. But as the Saturn V rocket shot into the sky, something the team never anticipated happened. Something that almost turned this historic mission into a disaster. Sound effect, sudden thunder. Rocket shaking narrator, just 36 seconds after launch. As Apollo 12 passed through the cloud cover, lightning struck, twice. In that instant, the spacecraft was jolted by a massive electrical surge. The first lightning strike caused a cascade of system failures. The spacecraft systems were knocked offline, and communication with mission control was lost. And then, just 16 seconds later, another strike hit, a second lightning bolt, even stronger than the first. Inside the spacecraft, the astronauts were rocked by the impact. Their instruments began flashing erratically. The guidance system went haywire. Everything went dark. Mission control in Houston, stunned by the sudden silence, scrambled to assess the situation. For a few moments, no one knew if Apollo 12 and its crew were still alive. Apollo 12, this is Houston. Do you copy? There was no response. The astronauts had no idea what had just happened. Pete Conrad, the mission commander, was fighting to regain control. Alan Bean, the lunar module pilot, was trying to troubleshoot the spacecraft's malfunctioning systems. But then, Conrad did something that would go down in history. Instead of panicking, he stayed cool under pressure, something that would save them all. Houston, we've been struck by lightning. We're still here. We're gonna get this under control. He immediately began manual overrides to bring the systems back online. Despite the chaos, Pete Conrad was as calm as if he were sipping coffee on a quiet morning. Within minutes, the astronauts regained contact with mission control. The lightning strikes had damaged Apollo 12's electronics, but the crew, using their ingenuity and training, managed to restore communication and regain control of the spacecraft. But that was only the beginning of their ordeal. By the time they reached space, it was clear the lightning strikes had caused severe damage to Apollo 12's guidance system. The spacecraft had been thrown off course and key instruments were malfunctioning. Still, they had a mission to complete, land on the moon. Incredibly, the astronauts made it to lunar orbit, and just 4 days later, despite the odds, Apollo 12 became the second mission in history to successfully land on the moon.